Hi-ho, church friends and church family. This is Pastor Tanner at the Bartow ARP Church. Hey, just wanted to give you a quick rundown of what you should expect during our reopening of the church. This Sunday, we are going to begin with the reopening of the church, entering into phase 1. So Patrick Daugherty and I wanted to give you a quick run through of what you can expect when you worship with us either this Sunday or during phase 1. So let's get started. I'm making my way into the sanctuary here, and then what am I encountered by? Hi-ya! Oh, wait a second. That isn't a ninja. That is our Director of Youth and Family Ministries, Mr. Patrick Daugherty. You'll notice that Patrick is standing in for our ushers, which will be our elders and deacons, through phase 1. You will notice that Patrick is wearing a ninja mask. No, he's wearing a mask. He's also wearing blue gloves. And what's that you got in your hand there, Patrick?
This is our church bulletin. So for all of those who don't know, we will have church bulletins, and in this bulletin we'll have everything printed out for our order of worship for you, including our songs and everything we'll have. So we will have these available, and as you can see, we're properly PPE'd, properly protected. And for anybody who wants one, we'll make these available for you on the day of. Also, they will be available online for you to download as well. Also, another great addition that we have during Corona 2020 is this. We have children's bulletins. That's right, they're back. Children's bulletins it'll go with our talk. It'll go with our theme, the book of Proverbs. We've also used our gloves for this. We've pre-packaged crayons with our gloves and PPE for all of our children so that we're safe. And so anyway, we have this available for all of our families and children as well, right here at the door. So anyway, I'm your greeter, and welcome to Bartow ARP, sir.
Thank you very much, Patrick. You'll notice that I've brought my mask to wear. Masks are recommended during the entire phase 1 worship time. But for those of you that do not have a mask, we have masks here for you that you can enjoy. We will have boxes of masks placed at each of the 4 entrances of the sanctuary. And so at that point, you'll begin making your way into the sanctuary, but what is this? Something's changed, something's different. Now, this is going to be difficult because some of you have been sitting in the same pew for decades, and I understand how you feel. But what we have done here is we have roped off every other pew, and we've measured the distance between the pews, and there's exactly at least 6 feet between this pew and the other pew where someone will be seated worshiping. That allows for proper social distancing. Now, I know for some of you this is going to be difficult because you won't be able to worship in the pew where you've been seated for decades. So if you want to worship in that pew, you can email me or text me, and I will plan a special worship service for you where you can sit in that pew. You just have to agree to sanitize that pew both before and after the service, and you'll have to agree to quadruple your tithe. I'm not sure if the elders would approve of that, but I'm sure that the deacons would. Anyway, you need to otherwise avoid these blocked off pews like forbidden fruit, okay, in the Garden of Eden. Now you'll notice also here that our Bibles, our hymnals, and our psalters have been removed. That is to prevent any cross-contamination during the services. Of course, the CDC has just come out this week and said really no need to fear that much about COVID-19 being spread through surfaces. So this is really overkill for us. We're going to have 2 worship services beginning on Sunday. The 9 o'clock a.m. service is recommended for younger families and younger worshipers. That's 64 and younger. Our 11 o'clock a.m. service is recommended for those that are 65 and older. So I'm going to begin making my way down to the front. Our ushers on Sunday morning will seat everyone, direct them to be seated from the front of the sanctuary to the back of the sanctuary, also to prevent a little bit more of that, or allow for more social distancing. So, Mr. Daugherty, where should I be seated?
Sir, how many is in your party?
Just one.
Just one, yes, sir. Well, if you would please just move right in here. You can sit on this side of the meeting divider and right here in the front row. We will be seating front to back from the middle sections and then to the outside sections, all the way back throughout the sanctuary. So you'll have a greeter right here to direct you to where you're going to be seated.
Thank you, Mr. Daugherty. You'll notice that the front pews are X'd off. In this setting, X does not mark the spot. Rather, X marks the spot where you do not want to be seated. This allows for more social distancing between the pulpit and the first row of worshipers. This will allow for more social distancing for those that are concerned about the aerosol vaporization and spread of COVID-19, between those that will be assisting worship and preaching and those that will be seated in the front pew, which is now the second pew. Patrick, what's that over there next to the door? That seems a little bit odd.
Yeah, so in the four corners of our sanctuary, what we have here, if you can point the camera this way, we have a couple of things you'll notice. One, we have our tithes and offerings plate. So at the conclusion of our service, so not during the service as usual, the conclusion of our service, you can drop off your tithes and offerings. Again, there are the four corners where the doors are. So as you leave the sanctuary. Also, I think Tanner may have pointed this out, but we have masks at every four corner of our sanctuary as well. So please, we want you to feel the freedom to grab a mask. So that's what you have here at these four corners.
Wow, wait, you were pointing that out. I noticed something up here on the stage. Well, I noticed there's a television here. Are we going to be watching cartoons during the worship service? No. You know what this is all about here? This is for those that will continue worshiping with us online. That's right. We love everyone that's a part of our church family here at Bartow ARP Church. We know some of you are sick, some of you are immunocompromised, and some of you just are convicted by conscience that it's a little bit too early to get back to worshiping in person. We understand. We love you too. And so, as we've been doing for the last several months, we are going to continue streaming our online worship service during the 11 o'clock a.m. worship service. And so, all of the liturgy in terms of the words to the hymns, affirmations of faith, when there's a corporate confession of sin, and so forth, that will be presented here on this monitor during the worship service. Also, one last little tidbit I should probably let you know. You probably noticed that some of the cushions have been removed from the pews. And the reason those cushions have been removed was to be essentially overkill to make sure that COVID-19 was not spread via surfaces. So we know that you're going to experience a little bit of discomfort during that time. So we are going to aim to shorten the worship service to about 45 minutes. That will allow some time between the two services, the 9 o'clock and 11 a.m. service, for those at the 9 o'clock service to exit. During that time, our elders and our deacons that are serving as ushers will disinfect all the pews that have been used during that service. So some of you will consider this overkill. Some of you will consider this way too lenient. But this is what I encourage you to do. View all of these changes as not permanent. Rather, they're like a cast that you would wear on a broken leg or a broken arm. It's not meant to be comfortable. It's not something that we enjoy. But it's something to help us during the time that we heal and help us continue getting back to our life as normal as possible during this time. Bartow ARP Church, we love you. See you soon.